Hello students, welcome to online biology classes. Uh, in this video we are going to start the CET section or the preparation for the NEET. Clear? This is the first chapter of the first unit. In the reproduction unit, 4 chapters are there. First one is the reproduction in organism. Second one is the sexual reproduction in flowering plant. Then human reproduction, then reproductive health. Clear? So almost all these 4 chapters we have finished from the NCERT point of view for the board examination. Clear? So this is the CET or the NEET preparation. So before we start this chapter, just recall the first chapter of first year, where the defining property of living organism we covered. So take any living organism, the consciousness or the response to the stimuli or the metabolic activity or the reproduction, these are the basic features we cover. Whether the reproduction is a defining property or not, that is the main topic. So we'll take some examples. For example, honeybee or the mule or the some other organism, they are unable to produce their young ones. So the reproduction is a unique feature of the living organism, but not the defining one. Now, what is the definition of the reproduction? Reproduction means it is a biological process in which the organism gives rise to young one, which is called an offspring, similar to itself. Yes, this definition is applied to both asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Yeah? So it is a biological process where the organism gives rise to young one, which is called an offspring, which is similar to itself. Here they are not called identical or similar to parent one. Yeah? So if you take any organism, they live for the specific period. Yes? So for example, if you take the human beings itself only, they can live 35, 40, 50, sometimes some person may cross even 100 years. So it is not specific one. So the period of survivalship means the period between the birth to the natural death is called the lifespan. The definition is simply given. Lifespan means it is a period from birth to the natural death is called as a lifespan. Yes. Now this is a major duration. So what are the major events that will occur in the lifespan means if you take any higher organism, birth occurs, up to the certain period the growth occurs, so that is called the vegetative phase or the juvenile phase. After attaining a particular size and they enter into the next phase, that is called the reproductive phase. Clear? So during this reproductive phase, they have the capacity to reproduce their young one. This is the main event. Clear? So at the end of reproductive phase, so gradually they enter into the senescent phase or the old age. Clear? So these are the major phases of any higher organism. Now, if you take the size of the organism and the lifespan of organism, they are not related one. So what they given? The lifespan of organism is not dependent or related to the size of organism. Yes. So for example, if you take the two birds, for example, if you take the crow and the parrot, ಗಿಳಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಗೆ, clear? ಇವೆರಡು size same ಇರುತ್ತೆ. But the crow live for almost 20 to 25 years and parrot will live for the almost 140 years. There is a major difference. Clear? So that's why the size of the organism is not related to the lifespan. Means lifespan of organism is not related to the size of organism. This is the main. Next one. So this is called as a natural death. Means the end of lifespan means natural death. Yes. Whether all organisms live for the for longer period means one statement is given in the first page of that in chapter 1. No organism immortal except the single cell organism. It is given. Clear? What it means? ಪೃಥ್ವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮು ಅಮರವಿಲ್ಲ, ಶಾಶ್ವತವಿಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಇಮ್ಮೋರ್ಟಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಮರ, ಮಾರ್ಟಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮೃತ್ಯು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮು ಒಂದಿನ ಸೊ ಡೆತ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ single cell organism means microorganism What happened in the single cell organism or the microorganism? For example, if you take the amoeba, bacteria, before they face this senescence phase, the mother cell undergo division. They divide and they produce two daughter cells. Here, so they continue their life in the form of their daughter cell. That's why all living organisms are immortal except microorganism. That another statement given in the first page of that chapter. Here, so this is the introduction. So now when you take the lifespan, so major phases of lifespan means juvenile phase, that is called the vegetative phase. Reproductive phase means this phase where the organism have the capacity to reproduce the young one. Senescence phase means this is the old age. The transition from one phase to another phase means, if you take the human beings also, the juvenile phase gradually enter into the reproductive phase, from the reproductive phase to the senescence phase. This transition is also mainly depend on the hormonal changes which take place in the body, and these changes also influenced by the environmental factor. That's why, so the transition from one phase to another phase, everything is depend on the secretion of particular hormone and environmental factors also. So this is about the lifespan and the reproduction. In the second page only, some organism figure is given and the lifespan is mentioned. So from the CET point of view, so we have to cover some extra organism. So the lifespan of different organism, here some animals also there and the plants also there. First I will write the organism, then the lifespan. First example is butterfly, fruit fly, crow, dog, cow, cobra, horse, crocodile, elephant, tortoise or turtle, parrot. So these are the organisms from the animal kingdom. If you take the lifespan, so butterfly live for almost 1 week, fruit fly 1 to 2 months, crow will live for almost 15 years, dog for 20 years, cow 25 years, cobra 28 to 30 years, horse live for 50 to 60, crocodile almost 60 years, elephant will live for 75 years, tortoise and turtle almost 100 to 140 years, parrot 140 years. So this is in the ascending order only. So based on this one, question may arise. Select the proper option where the organisms are kept in the ascending order of the lifespan or the descending order of the lifespan. So this is one. So here, if you take this one, if you compare the crow and the parrot, the crow will live for almost 15 to 20 years, parrot will live for 140 years. That's why the size of the organism not decide the lifespan of that organism. Clear? So this is about the animal kingdom. When you take the plant kingdom, so examples are rice plant, rose plant, banana, banana. So rice will live almost 4 to 5 months. Yes, the rose will live almost 8 to 10 years. The banana will live almost 25 to 30 years. The banyan tree live for almost 300 to 500 years. Yes. So this is about the lifespan of organism. So the number based question may arise in the CT. Here, otherwise the numbers will not mention, but the organisms are kept in the ascending or descending order. So you have to select the option. So this is about the lifespan of organism. Now straightway we are going to discuss the reproductive phase of organism. So in that one we are going to cover the difference between the asexual and sexual reproduction. Now next topic is the distinct difference between the sexual and the asexual reproduction. If question is asked for the 3 marks, you have to write at least 4 to 5 differences here. So reproduction is classified into 2 types. One is asexual reproduction. Second one is sexual reproduction. Yes. If question arises, otherwise in CT or the NEET papers, the concepts are given. Which are the factors the correct for the asexual reproduction, which are the non-correct for the sexual reproduction. So based on this one, the question may arise. Now try to distinguish between these 2 type of reproduction. So asexual reproduction means basically based on the involvement of number of parents. The reproduction is classified if only one parent is involved. So asexual reproduction is the mostly uniparental. Uniparental means here only one parent is involved. Here, so this is usually it is biparental. I'm telling usually here. So this is mostly uniparental. It is usually biparental. Why? Because some organisms are hermaphrodite, or they are the monoecious or the bisexual. In some organisms, self-fertilization take place and the reproduction take place. So it is usually biparental, where the male and the female organisms are involved. So this is biparental. That's why, based on the involvement of number of parents, the uniparental means sexual reproduction, biparental means sexual reproduction. Next one, in asexual reproduction, formation and fission of gamete is absent. In sexual reproduction, formation and fission of gametes is present. Yes, when you take the sexual reproduction take place only if the 2 different gametes unite and zygote is formed. Here, so this is a major event which will take place in the sexual reproduction. Gamete formation and fertilization both will occur in the sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, this is absent. Next one, if gametes are formed, here meiosis is present and fertilization is there. Here meiosis and fertilization are absent. But this is mostly depend on mitotic type of cell division. In sexual reproduction, for gamete formation depend on meiotic type of division. This is a major difference. So in asexual reproduction, mitotic division is there. In sexual reproduction, meiotic division. Yes. So indirectly, in this case, if the organism is a haploid, it will remain as a haploid only for the generation after generation due to the mitotic division. If it is a diploid, so it will remain diploid generation after generation. Yes, either haploid or diploid. But in this case, so diploid organism, it undergo meiosis and produce gametes. So this is a reduction division. So when the two gametes are united, and again diploid is maintained. So in this case, alternately haploid and diploid is there. Diploid is a sporophytic body, haploid is a gametophytic body. Indirectly, here alternation of ploidy is there. In this case, alternation of ploidy absent. So this is the third point. Yes. So in this case, mitotic division is there. If you clearly observe, in mitotic division, crossing over is absent. In meiotic division, crossing over is there. So due to that one, in this case, variations are not created. In this case, variation are generated. This lead into evolution. Means in asexual reproduction, the offspring which is formed from this parent, which is genetically and morphologically similar to its parent, that's why the offsprings are called as a clone. So here, fifth point. So clones are produced. Clone means, so they are morphologically and genetically produced. Here, clones are not produced. Here, hybrids are produced. So hybrid means it is a mixture of both parents. So asexual reproduction is very fast process. So sexual reproduction is very slow, elaborate and complex process. So in ancient textbook it is given. It is a very slow, complex and elaborate process. So last one. So this asexual reproduction takes place in single cell organisms, means it will take place in Monera and Protista, and plants and animals with simple body organization. When you take the sexual reproduction, this occur in the higher plants and animals with complex body organization. So this is the overall difference between the asexual and sexual reproduction. Just revise point by point. Based on the involvement of parent, the reproduction is classified into asexual and sexual reproduction. Yes, asexual reproduction means here only one parent is involved, that's why it is a uniparental. Here two parents are there, that's why it is a biparental, usually biparental. Yes, the formation and fusion of the gamete is absent here, means the meiosis and fertilization is absent. In sexual reproduction, meiosis and fertilization is a obligatory process, means during the meiosis, reduction of chromosome takes place. During the fertilization, again the ploidy is maintained. Clear? So here, the main means it depends on the mitotic type of cell division. This is depend on the meiotic type of cell division. For the gametogenesis, meiosis must occur. The variations are not created because in mitotic division, crossing over is absent. Here, variations are created because in sexual reproduction, random crossing over take place, random fertilization take place. Due to that one, variations are created. These variations are raw material for the evolution. Clones are produced here. So the offsprings produced in the asexual reproduction, they are morphologically and genetically similar. That's why these are called as a clone. Here, due to the union of the two different gametes, hybrids are produced. This is a very fast and rapid process. This is a very slow, elaborate and complex process. Now, asexual reproduction occurs in the single cell organisms such as in Monera, Protista, the plant and animal with the simple body organization. Simple body organization means if you take the algae, even in some cases of the higher plants, vegetative propagation takes place. Even in some invertebrates, asexual reproduction takes place. But sexual reproduction occurs in the plant and animal with the complex body organization. So this is 3 marks question in board examination, but based on this fact, question may arise in the CET or the NEET papers. Clear? So that's why just understood properly, specifically the mitotic division, meiotic division, and the formation and fusion of the gamete. So based on this one, question may arise. Clear? So this is a sexual and asexual reproduction. Now next topic is the asexual reproduction. So in detail we are going to cover the asexual reproduction. So different types of asexual reproduction now we are going to cover. So in the short pause, we will continue the next topic. Just wait for a second. Yes, student. So this is a asexual reproduction board. So many types of asexual reproduction given in the any reference book for the CET or the NEET. Here. So similar to the same, some types of asexual reproduction also mentioned in the NCERT textbook. So let's cover this one. Asexual reproduction is uniparental, where the formation and the fusion of gamete is totally absent. So it is a very fast and rapid process. So the offspring produced in the asexual reproduction is called as a clone because they are morphologically and genetically similar to their parent. Clear? Based on the type of division or the pattern, asexual reproduction broadly classified into fission, budding, spore formation, fragmentation and regeneration, encystation or sporulation, and vegetative propagation. These are the broad aspects. Clear? So cover one by one. Fission means it is a division. Clear? So based on the division, how many daughter cells are produced, the fission is either binary fission or multiple fission. Binary fission means this is the mother cell, it undergo division, first karyokinesis and cytokinesis, and produce the two daughter cells. Almost equal division take place. So this is called the binary fission. Only two daughter cells are produced. Multiple fission means this is the mother cell. First karyokinesis occur, large number of nucleus are produced, and surrounding each nucleus cytoplasma is collected, and suddenly many daughter cells are produced. This is a binary fission, this is a multiple fission. Now when you take the example, in binary fission, again the pattern of division is a little bit different. So you take the binary fission, so in Euglena, this division is a longitudinal. Yes, like this. If you take the Paramecium, this is transverse. Yes, if you take the dinoflagellates, so this is oblique, and in amoeba it is unequal, means irregular, so sometimes small, sometimes big, may produce. So question based on this one may arise. In Euglena it is a transverse, a longitudinal, in Paramecium it is a transverse, dinoflagellate it is a oblique, and in amoeba it is a irregular. Yes, so this is about the binary fission. So these are the example of binary fission. When you take multiple fission, in amoeba multiple fission take place in some situations. This is a binary fission. So question may arise based on this. Yes, MCQ may arise here. Next one, budding. Budding means, so this is an unequal division. Here equal division occurs. Budding means, so parent body is there, small protrusion or outgrowth develops. Gradually that protrusion enlarges and detach, and it will develop individually. For example, external budding, it is seen in Hydra or yeast. So both figures are given in the NCERT textbook. When you take the Hydra, so this is Hydra, small outgrowth develop. Gradually that outgrowth will develop into individual, and that will separate and develop into new individual. So this is a Hydra. When you take the yeast one, this is a Saccharomyces cerevisiae or yeast. The nucleus will migrate towards the periphery. There, gradually nucleus elongate and small bud will develop. So this is the elongation of nucleus. Gradually constriction occurs, and this is a mother cell and this is a daughter cell. So this is a budding. This is a mother and this is a daughter. So this is the unequal division. So external budding seen in the Hydra and the yeast. When I take the internal budding, one more important term is there. This is an important one. Gamules seen in sponges. So gamules are the small asexual reproductive structure produced in the sponges one. They are nothing but the internal budding. Yes. So fusion occurs, budding finished. Now come to the spore formation. Spore formation means here also spores are either formed inside the mother body or the outside. So the spore formation mostly seen in the algae and fungi, mycota. So for example, if you take the zoospores, so zoospore means seen in the Chlamydomonas. Zoospore means biflagellate structures are there. Conidia seen in Penicillium. Penicillium. So the zoospores are produced internally. Means if this is a Chlamydomonas, inside zoospores are used. Conidia produced externally. So this is the main branch. On that one, many conidias are produced. Yes, oidea. So this is also produced externally only. This is a hyphae. On that one, oidea is produced. Oidea means example Candida. Yes, Chlamydospores and Sporangiospore. Chlamydospores means, so this is produced internally. This is a hyphae. And Sporangiospores means, so example Rhizopus. So these are the Chlamydospores, and this is the yes. Chlamydospores means oidea produced in Agaricus, and Chlamydospore produced in the Candida. Sporangiospores produced in the Rhizopus. So now zoospores internally produced, conidia externally, oidea also externally, Chlamydospores internally, and this one Sporangiospores also produced internally, endogenous or exogenous only. So these are the types of spores. So based on the climatic condition, the spores are either means sometimes produce a thick wall, hypanospores, echinospores. So like this one, spores are produced. So this is about the spore formation. Now come to the main topic, that is fragmentation and regeneration. So this is a little bit confusing here. Fragmentation and regeneration means, when you take the fragmentation here, typical example is, if you take the Spirogyra, so this is the Spirogyra. Yes, in fragmentation, the parent body has a capacity to undergo fragment, means it will produce the small pieces of their body or thallus one. Yes, like this. And each segment have the capacity to develop into new individual. This will produce 3 spirogyra. Yes. Actually, this fragmentation is a type of asexual reproduction only. This is actually meant for the asexual reproduction. When it is the regeneration means fragmentation example Spirogyra, regeneration example here Planaria or same Hydra, what we study in the budding. So what happened in the regeneration, if you take the Planaria, so this is the mother body. Yes, it undergo fragmentation and produce two pieces. Yes, and each piece develop into new one, new end. So this is the regeneration. So what is the difference between this one? The fragmentation means this is the actual mode of regeneration, reproduction. Here the parent body divided into small pieces and each piece develop into new one. Regeneration means actually accidentally the parent body cut into small pieces. Clear? And the regeneration of the lost part is called the regeneration. So actually the fragmentation actually seen in higher plants. It is seen more in plants. Regeneration seen more in animals. For example, if you take the tail of the lizard, when it is lost, that is nothing but the phenomenon of a regeneration. Yes, only the lost part is a regenerative. So again, here two terms are there in the regeneration: morphollaxis and epimorphollaxis. Morphollaxis means this is a regeneration of only organ. Epimorphollaxis means it is a regeneration of complete organism. So based on this one, question may arise: morphollaxis and epimorphollaxis. So briefly, fragmentation and regeneration actually is a confusing factor. Fragmentation means this is actually mode of asexual reproduction, where the parent body cut into small pieces and every piece developed into new one. Complete. This is a fragmentation. Regeneration means, in this case, this will take place mostly in the animals. So accidentally body cut into small pieces, and the regeneration of the lost organ is called the regeneration. One more thing, for the fragmentation, special types of cells are not required, but here special type of cells are required. Is this clear? So just if you have any confusion, just go through this fragmentation regeneration once thoroughly. Encystation and sporulation. This is also very important. The based on encystation, many question arises. Encystation or the sporulation means this process takes place in amoeba. What happens? As the unfavorable condition faced by the amoeba, this amoeba withdraw its seropodia. Yes, so this will withdraw seropodia, and this will produce thick 3-layered wall surrounding this one. 3-layered wall is produced. This is called the cyst. That's why it is called the encystation. Clear? So this is a thick 3-layered wall. This encysted amoeba will remain as it is during the unfavorable condition. As the favorable condition returns, the nucleus undergo division. So here karyokinesis occurs, and suddenly the cyst wall ruptures and many pseudopodiospores are released. Yes, so this is the encystation and this is the sporulation. Now sporulation occurs as the favorable condition returns. Is this clear? Encystation and sporulation both are related to each other in case of amoeba. Yes, so this is about the asexual reproduction in some organism. So only one topic is remaining, that is a vegetative propagation. This topic we will cover in the next video along with the detailed example. Clear? Till then, take care of yourself, do your hard work. Goodbye.